All right, welcome everyone. This is Dave, and this is my 2004 Kubota BX23D, and we're doing the 1200-hour service to it. And at this particular time, I'm draining the HST, and I've already drained the engine oil, but I'll show you what I've already got done and clean up my mess here. All right. All right, we're underneath, and that's the oil drain plug right here. And as you can see, I have done this before with the mid-mount mower installed. Believe me, it's 100% easier, and you can do a good inspection when you remove the mid-mount mower. So anyway, that's your oil drain plug. All right, I'll zoom in. I did not pull the cowling off or the bonnet, because I just had it off last week when I replaced the muffler. There should be a link come up here momentarily to show that procedure, and there's that new muffler right there. All right, well, here is this engine oil filter, and you see Kubota gives you a gap here, so you actually can remove and replace the engine oil filter without removing the bonnet or cowling. So anyway, and I went with a Wix oil filter back on that for about half the price of what Kubota wanted. And I put Wix filters in just about everything I've got that takes a filter. Never had a filter problem issue, knock on wood. So anyway, that's kind of a nice little service place. I don't know if the newer BXs are like that, but this is a 2004. And that would be the 2230, the 1830, I guess. 1500, I believe they all access this way. All right, let's service the air filter. I had cleaned this out when I put the new bracket on, so I had blown it out and wiped it all out. So all I'm going to do is put the new filter on. All right, this is a I'll post the part numbers, but this is also a Wix air filter. All right. Line top with the little white arrow. Yeah. All right. Get him in there seated good, and he'll seat. All right. There we go. All right. That's it. And we'll shift back here where we're draining the hydrostatic fluid. Let's move that out of the way. And you can see it is draining right there. You see it draining? All right. And it's about filled up the second container. You're going to get about, oh shoot, how much you going to get out of there? I'll tell you here in a moment. But you need a couple containers. Be prepared, because it's not going to be enough. And that's the hydrostatic filter, and I'm about to take him off. If you're doing this on a new Kubota for the first time, you will discover that was probably installed by a gorilla. So anyway, let's see if I can make out the date. Looks like it was 2000, either 7 or 19 when I did the 300, put 300 hours on it. This is 2021, maybe 19, so that's a 9, okay. Because I average, well, I don't know, I take that back. I don't really average 100 hours a year anymore like I used to. I'm pretty much only about 50. So, now this is a Kubota hydrostatic filter, and that's what we're going back with, but I am going with that's a Wix oil filter. All right. Now what I've done is I've pre-filled my filter and lubricated the rubber O-ring with new fluid too. So we're going to go ahead and put that on. Yeah, and it matches up exactly to the old one. So anyway, if you can get it on started fast, you won't lose much. Okay. You want to get it as tight as you can by hand. Now there may be some on the outside of that O-ring going to drip, so we'll watch it a little bit. Okay. The strength of my wrist isn't what it used to be. All right. All right, we're still draining out of that hydrostat, and what we're going to do, we're going to go around on the back side and we're going to check out that the screen. Okay. It'll tell us if there's any big chunks of anything in there, what to expect. Okay. All right, I didn't show me putting it back in because, well, the camera was in the way, but here is the HST drain plug right here, and I've got it reinstalled. And I want to point out that you want to snug it down like you would an oil pan drain plug. You want to turn. You don't want to go super gorilla on it, but you want it pretty tight. There is a copper washer in between the shoulder of the bolt and the pan, just like normal drain pan nuts or bolts. So you just want to be careful, inspect it, make sure. I mean, sometimes you may have to replace that copper washer, but I haven't. This is still the same washer that's been on mine since 2004. I just make sure I clean both sides of it, clean the pan, clean the head, the bolt, so all the surfaces, and so far it's not failed me yet. All right, and I'm going to point out something else here, and there is the infamous HST fan. There you go. Now, if you run around with one of these BX tractors in the woods or around a lot of debris that'll shoot up and out and around, you are going to knock those blades off that fan, and that'll cause your HST, your hydrostatic transmission, to run hot. So you want to go out of your way to protect that thing. There's several aftermarket providers for skid plates that work great. I actually have one I made up myself. But I only install it when the mid-mount mower is not installed. Now, the mid-mount mower will generally protect this, and again, unless you're out, you're out in the woods or something with big sticks and everything, and that's when you really want to have a skid plate. That'll just protect you more. But this is the original fan on this 2004 tractor, so you can see if you take some precautions to protect it, well, it'll stay undamaged. And I'm going to show you shortly, I'm going to be replacing my fuel filter. On the BX23D, this is the screen, the HST screen for the all the hydraulic fluid. And I don't have a metric socket big enough to fit it, but I do have 1 1/16", which does. So I'm going to see if I can't set this up and show you how I pull it off. Unfortunately, I think it's going to I'm going to block your way. I don't know. We'll see. Okay, and there he is. And there's quite a bit of stuff on it. Let's get up here, shine some light on him. There. Right here. Yeah, there at the bottom. All right. Nothing really outrageous. I don't know if that's showing it, but that's how it seals in there. All right, I've squirted him off and cleaned him up. We're going to reinstall him. Barely enough room. If you don't feel comfortable working around the wheel, you can actually pull the wheel off and you should be good to go. Okay. All right. Get to start filling some fluids. All right, I'm going to start filling the engine oil first. You know, I should look it up. I can't remember exactly how much it holds. I'm wanting to think it's something like 3 quarts, but I'm not entirely sure. So what I do, I just fill to the dipstick. And that's it. See, this wasn't a full 5 quarts or gallon. It was a little over a gallon. It wasn't a full 5 quarts. It was left over from the last oil change. All right, we're showing about looks like about a quart low. I don't know, like I say, I don't know exactly how much was in there. Let me go find me some more. All right, he's topped off. All right. I really don't know how much I put in there, and I may have to end up putting a little bit more in because of the oil filter. Some of it did spill out when I was putting it on, so it's got to fill the filter up too. So anyway, we'll know when we go to start it. Now Kubota, well, let me move you. Kubota didn't do us any favors in where they put the fill for the hydrostatic transmission. It's right in there. I mean, it couldn't be at a harder place to get to. I mean, I think they've changed it on the newer BXs. You can see I've got the lid off, so there it is. Anyway, so you got to use a long snout to get to it. All right, here's my setup, that long tube, and I'm filling a 1 quart at a time. That's the only way I'm set up to do it. So you may have a better way, but I don't. All right, this is going to take a while. So anyway, I'll bring you back. That's how I add Super UDT2 to my HST, and it's a quart at a time. But hey, it's hands off, and it's, you know, takes a little time, but it's not. I don't have to stand over it holding it or anything. So anyway, should be getting close to full. If I poked a hole in the bottom of that container, it'd come out real fast. Alright, let's see if we can get it up there on them filters. In my hand. Right there, okay. Number 10 to loosen the filter. Hopefully that is closing off the flow. In case some does come out of the filter. The fluid. Look at that arrow again. That way. Okay, you want to make sure you get it flowing the right way. Okay. I don't know if the camera's showing it. There. That light might be messing with it. This is the electric fuel pump, and there's your connector that sometimes can get corroded and even loose if it's not snapped in, so you want to make sure he's good. That's what you hear clicking when you turn your key on. All right. Matter of fact, we're going to turn our key on and see. Okay, there we go. See if that fuel filter fills up and leaks. All right, you can see it filling up. Odd sound, and it's actually self-bleeding too. Any air that was in that filter is getting bled out. All right, now that's the normal sound. Hear that clicking? Okay, we're going to start him up now and see what we get. Alright, there really is no easy way to show it. You got to snap the locking collar back on the PTO shaft and line it up with the PTO output. Now, what I like to do is push it in close on this side. Alright, so here we go. Sometimes you need to lock the PTO. All right. Now the output shaft will not spin. All right. Unfortunately, that collar, when you push forward, sometimes you can get him going. Sometimes it lines right up. And it goes on just like that. Okay. Of course, you gotta get them all the way up. And you'll hear it snap lock. All right. He's locked on. Good deal. Like I say, sometimes it goes right on, sometimes it don't. All right. We'll get the front hooked on before I start the engine, while you're not breathing all them fumes. Sometimes it goes a lot easier. So, I noticed my last mow that this side, the left side, was cutting higher than the right. So, I got the mower, when I reinstalled the mower, got it all on, I adjusted to 3 inches. Now, I normally mow at 3 inches, so that's what I adjust to. And you can see here, well, get my hand out of the way. Right here, you see that real shiny thread right there? That's how much I turned this length down to get the front tip of this blade at 3 inches and the back of this blade at 3 1/16, more than 3 1/16 to 3 1/4. Right in the middle there, I guesstimate on that. But in order to adjust this link, you got to pull this lock pin out pull this pin out so you can lift this up and spin it in or out to get your level. Now that'll get your each side, that's for, you know, side to side adjustments done. Now if the front needed adjustment, you do it right here. All right, see these right here, you unlock this top bolt and you'd either run this out to lower the front of the blade, or you'd run it up to raise the front of the blade. All right, so what you want to do when you set these up is make sure that both sides on the other side, let's see if we can get down there to show you, the other side over there, the threads measure the same, okay, and it's a little over 1/2 inch on both, okay. So we're good on the side to side. All right, I'm over on the other side. See if we can get this. There we go. And you can see here's my block. Now you can go to a John Deere dealer or any of the dealers, and they got these fancy levered blade measuring devices. Hey, what I do is I just measure my own. Now you want to get the blade straight fore and aft, okay? And then I got it with my concrete floor. It's somewhat easy, and I can go through. You see that 3 inch just barely slides. It's like a feeler gauge, all right? So he's good. He's 3 inches there on the front, and if I go back here to the back, there's a good 1/4 inch between a 1/16 to a quarter. Between a 1/16 and an 1/8 inch gap for the tip there. So you want to exaggerate, you want your blades angled to the front, okay? You want them angled to the front from 1/16 to 1/8 of an inch. I believe it even says up to a quarter. I have to read the manual. But you want it angled up. All right. So anyway, that's how I use my blocks here to set my measurement. All right, that ought to bring to a conclusion my 1,200-hour service. To summarize, I changed the engine oil and filter, the HST oil and filter, the 2 fuel filters. I greased and lubricated all the all the zerks that needed it, which basically is just the mid-mount mower and the treadle pedal. I have been doing some previous maintenance to it over the past couple weeks. Last week, I replaced the muffler, so I had the whole bonnet off. If you noticed, I didn't take it off for this service. That's because I had it off just last week. And while I had it off, I went over everything in there, just making sure everything was tight and there was no leaks or anything. But if you're doing one of these, 100-hour services or 300-hour, whatever, maintenance you're doing, it's always good to pull that off so you get a good idea of what's going on. And let's see, I did not change the antifreeze out, and I believe I will be doing that. I just didn't buy any, but I believe I will be. It's not green anymore. It looks so it needs to be replaced. I was wrong. The antifreeze actually looks real good. I'll check my records. I may have drained and added new way before I think I did. So anyway, it's just the outside of it looks bad. Anyway, and one final thing. The HST and the engine both seem quieter. It could be a figment of my imagination, but I don't know. It sounded quieter. The whine was less and the engine sounded better. Maybe it just likes the new fluids. I just use standard 50/50. I haven't had no problems running that standard 50/50, all right? And let's see here. I had to balance the mower. I noticed that my last mowing, that it was really bad. This side, left side, was mowing higher than the right side, and it was, you can tell, it's obvious. So, as you've seen from the previous segments that I had, how much I had to adjust it to get it back. I till sometimes with this mower on, and I still got obstacles and everything. So, this is the first time I've adjusted that mid-mount mower probably in 10 years or so. So it's, you know, stuff gets bent, stuff gets worn, you know. So after a while, it really needs it. So it was really out. And anyway, everything else seems to be pretty good with it. So we're going to stick a fork in this dude. I hope you found it useful and helpful. And you got any questions or anything, post a comment and I'll see if I can answer them for you. So anyway, I hope it all is going good with you and yours. All's going good here. Can't complain. Won't do me any good to complain. So have a good one, and we'll see you around on the next one. See you.